Welcome back. We're talking about the higher life and how to find it. Yogis want to move from the lower Prakriti to the higher Prakriti. And if you want to know how to do that, please start with part 1 and part 2. Part 3 is another kind of focus on an essential understanding that leads to living in the higher Prakriti, finding your own higher life. So, shall we dance? Shall we indulge? Your higher Prakriti. You're tuning in with the life principle, what the life principle wants to do with beautiful you. The life principle wants to fully express. And hopefully you want that too. Higher Prakriti is the life principle, the essence, the joy, and the power of life moving and expressing in you. What is life like when we don't have this awareness of the higher Prakriti? There are many views and philosophies. I've just enjoyed reading all the Greek big names in philosophy, and they have beautiful comments, but I thought I'd take a lighter touch here. I'm going to get to my main point, but I'm going to have fun along the way. I hope you do too. Here's a view of life from Lou Brown, 1931. He was born in Odessa, Russia in 1893, as were so many songwriters born in Russia or in Eastern Europe. Irving Berlin comes to mind. So here we go. He says, life is just a bowl of cherries. Don't take it serious. Life's too mysterious. You work, you save, you worry so, but you can't take your dough when you go, go, go. So keep repeating, it's the berries. The strongest oak must fall. The sweet things in life to you were just loaned. So how can you lose what you've never owned? Life is just a bowl of cherries, so live and laugh and love, live and laugh at it all. Profound. Also lyrics from the Beer Barrel Polka. The best things in life are free. Or Birth of the Blues has some beautiful philosophy. Let's see now. So you might look at life here in this world, while ignorant of the life principle, like the great philosopher Sophocles. He didn't get it. He didn't get to the life principle, to the higher Prakriti. He says, best not to have been born at all. And then his sons wanted to say he was too old and senile when he was 80. And so he read the play he was working on, Oedipus at Colonus. He read it to the court, and the court decided if he can write that well, he's not senile. So he won the contest with his sons. Socrates said the unexamined life is not worth living. He's saying, examine your life. Examine it. Find the higher Prakriti, perhaps. He also said, know thyself. So I was going to share about 8 or 9 cards full of Greek philosophers. They're all interesting. I recommend them to you. But out of compassion for you, I'm going to just skip some. They're good, though. What do yogis find that life is like before we find and become fully conscious of the higher Prakriti? And here's the point of this talk. What is life like without the higher Prakriti? Life is one of profound, ongoing separateness. And we suffer and struggle and hurt regarding this separateness. We have this yearning to feel one with others, close to others, sharing cares, sharing laughs, sharing sorrows. Until the higher Prakriti is known, we spend our days and energies dealing with separateness, every one of us, even our mother and father, even your mate, your neighbor, your employer, your president, all are dealing with separateness to some degree. It can't be otherwise because we're stuck in our lower Prakriti. And that's covered very thoroughly in the first two parts of this series. We're stuck in our lower Prakriti. We're stuck in our individual sense of I am the doer, and an ego that says, I am not only the doer, I am kind of the person in charge of my life and trying to be in charge of the world at the same time, trying to control everything that I possibly can. We're separate as we judge and evaluate everybody and everything. We're separate in that we're having these waves of thoughts and feelings stirring in our mind continuously. We're stuck in the lower Prakriti when our individual sensations coming in through hearing, touching, seeing, tasting, and smelling are preoccupying our attention. They're alert, they're helpful, but we've just described the lower Prakriti, the human condition, and we're meant to have something so much more. But this separateness, it keeps us stuck in our lower life. Not the life we could have had if we'd known about it, but a life we kind of defaulted into. Yes, individuality is very good. We are distinct human beings. God made us that way. The infinite consciousness created individuals. But to be so stuck in our false sense of self and pride in our false sense of self makes us so separate and so unconscious of spirit, this essence, our essence. Individuality is good. It enables a vital level of growth and development, but it's a stage on our way to soul realization and soul expression. It's just a stage as we move from a false ego, our lower Prakriti, to our true self, our higher Prakriti. So the great life-changing question rises, how are you dealing with separateness? Do you encourage it every day till you're really separate when you go? They put you in a box in the earth. Your happiness and well-being hang in the balance of what are you doing about your separateness. Your understanding of life and other people hangs also on this. What is my separateness doing to my life, and what do I do about my separateness? How well do you think you're dealing with separateness? Do you want to love others? Do you want them to love you? Do you want health to flow through your being? Do you want abundance to flow through your being and your life and your affairs? You have a choice. You can increase your separateness any day you like, or you could reduce your separateness. So we will consider Jnana Yoga and some metaphysics and Buddhism, which have various views, and also some of the beautiful statements of Sri Ramakrishna. Jnana Yoga and metaphysics and Buddhism say, in reality, there is no separateness. It's a seeming. It's not a true separateness. It just is a delusion we have, that we are so separate from one another and from God. It's a delusion. If we say separateness is only an illusion, This doesn't help much people because they continue feeling separate. Sri Ramakrishna and Bhakti Yoga say it doesn't help to ignore your present condition, your present state of awareness. This relative world is real too. Its reality is expressed and established by Prakriti, by nature. So face your separateness, deal with it till it's gone. Don't pretend you don't have it. Deal with any separateness that you're aware of. For example, in aura healing, some sensitives can move their hands above your body, be aware of your aura, and they can pause, wherever they feel blocked energy. And then they ask you what you're thinking and feeling. There's a blockage here. And they help you to face your blockages and your separateness until your aura is very smooth to the entire, along the entire direction of where the aura person is going. There are just no places to pause or stop or ponder. It's a beautiful thing that such a sensitive person can just tell you here or there, I know such people. And they help people face wherever they're having problems, which usually involves separateness. And they help people to work on specific separateness and overcome it. People can release their separateness until a perfect flow is restored within our energy field. So too in psychotherapy, separateness is released, and well-being, self-esteem, and being part of humanity is restored. Family arguments make everybody feel separate from one another, even at the table. Family argument, we feel separate, we resist one another, our love tends to be suspended. And as separateness is released, we have accord and unity restored. We work through things, especially families. Perfect training for sainthood. Be in a family. You will learn all kinds of important spiritual lessons, right? Right? I just loved the life I had with my brothers and sisters. My father was an alcoholic and was often away, but it was wonderful when he was there, just wonderful. But my mom was so close to being an official saint in my eyes. She just kept us together and helped us deal again and again with our problems. Fantastic person. One of the best persons I've ever met in my life. My mom. So, dealing with separateness, we can be enriched and transformed. So why don't we deal with our separateness? First, explore separateness wherever you find it in your life. Just, I'm feeling very separate from here. And maybe it's a valid reason. You're sensing a crime about to happen, or you're sensing people are of the view that your life doesn't count or doesn't matter and they can abuse you. One day a girl went to the mall in San Diego County, and a gang caused one of their female members in the gang to befriend her. And before she knows it, she's their prisoner. And she has to give sex to all the people that they line up to have sex with her. And her main pimp, the gang leader, sleeps with his body across the door so she can't go out when they sleep. And the gang, after making lots of money, months go by, they do drugs and they don't sleep across the door. So this girl who had disappeared just walks home to her mother and tells her what happened since she went to the mall 3 months or 4 months before. There is separateness like that. There is danger. There's a possibility of going to the mall and end up having a horrendous time. But there are things of that nature that happen. We're not striving to be idiots or unaware of danger. We're striving to find our separateness is not necessary in our higher wisdom and higher sense of harmony. Explore separateness wherever you find it, especially in your life. Explore it. Where do I feel separate? Why do I feel separate? Why do I feel separate from these people in particular? Maybe it's prejudice. Maybe it's a lack of knowledge of them and who they really are. Maybe it's wisdom telling you stay away. How did your father deal with separateness? You have people who've gone before you. What did he do about his separateness? How did your mother deal with separateness? How does your partner or significant other in your life deal with separateness? And of course, then we're working up to, how do you deal with separateness? And it's essential to go within and ponder all of these issues. So we're going to pause a little while here, give you a chance to consider your mom, dad, and significant others. How do they deal with separateness? Some people take to drink. Some people go to church. Some people, you know. So that's it. Think about your mom, dad. They were examples for you. Significant others in your present life, present day, and then also you. How do you deal with separateness? Do you ignore it and just feel separate all the time? This is keeping you from the higher life, if you do. We're talking about exploring what we do about separateness so we can go beyond it. So take your time. We'll just consider this a section completed, and we'll begin again with the next section on this higher life we are called to, and that is so available to us if we move from our lower Prakriti to our higher Prakriti. Bless you.